So it's an elbow strike. It's not, you know, breaking a bear hug. And so the way the technique works in this fashion, you and I, we're in my fighting stance, and it's a turning elbow strike. And so from here, I come in, notice where my arm is. I step back like this and turn into you and deliver that horizontal elbow strike. So when you see me come this way, well, I'll have to go this way so you can see it better. From here, I come back and see how that elbow stays parallel to the ground and it goes right in to the strike. Now how you apply this thing, it works off a stop hit. So from here, especially in my horse stance, my fighting stance, I take a little half step in, hit with my lead hand, that stops your charge. That's what we call a stop hit. I'm hitting you as you're transitioning to hit me. And so you're coming in, and I hit and stop you. That stops you dead in your tracks, and that's when I continue that motion. So I hit, spin through, and hit you with the elbow strike. And then, of course, we get to, you know, this cover and block. This is not a cover. What this is, it's a wrist lock. It's actually a wrist throw. And so the hand comes across like this because that's the block. And so if I'm in my Seisan Dachi and we're fighting, okay, you throw your punch, I blend with you and grab your wrist. And so you throw the attack, notice I step off the line, I blend with your arm, grab your wrist, and turn your palm up. So your palm's going to be twisted this way. Then you take your other hand and you slap the back of that wrist as hard as you possibly can. So when I come from here and I blend with you, I step back the other direction and I slam that wrist and throw you to the ground. That's what it is. So it's a wrist throw. Then you have this. Okay, this is the palm up downward block. And you're doing, and that is a interesting technique. You're in your Seisan Dachi, and you're in an intermediate range, so you can reverse punch me, okay? Where you have to take a half step in to hit me, whether it's lead hand, backhand, or a kick, it's all the same. It's still the distance what's critical, not the technique. So from here, we're going to do something different, and I'll show you a close-up of this, of my feet. We're going to, on the balls of my feet, I'm going to rotate to my right, and then into a side, a 45-degree Nahachi Dachi or horse stance. So I switch this way. Now, it doesn't take me all the way off the point of line of attack, but it does shift it away from your attack. Also protects my groin. And then say what you do from here, of course, is, okay, now from the Seisan stance, you see a close-up of the feet position, and now we're going to transition from the Seisan into the 45-degree horse stance by rotating on the balls of the feet. So you simply rotate over, and this again moves your body somewhat off the line of attack, but enhances the sweep of your palm up downward block to trap the leg. And back to the Seisan, and then of course rotate on the balls of the feet into the horse stance. Seisan and horse stance. Is you do a downward block with the back hand. It's a downward block, palm up. So I shift away from you as your kick. I should have told you this is against a front kick or a side kick. When you go to kick me groin or solar plexus, I shift away from you and my backhand comes down and scoops you up. And so now I've locked your leg into my bicep up against my chest and shoulder. And this hand goes against your knee, okay, to hold you in place. That's why it's done this way. This is holding your knee in place. So from here, we shift on the balls of our feet. I block the kick up, trap it, trap the leg, and and then I reverse direction. So if I'm facing to my right, I'm going to take my left leg, turn 180 degrees, and face the left, which is going to throw you on your head. So I have your leg, doesn't matter whether it's a right leg or left leg, you're trapped. And before you can step down and hit me, I pull you off balance and I toss you onto the ground. And so that's that technique. That is this. So I told you in the other video where I showed you Nahachi Nidan, said there's the block. And initially what it is close quarter technique. There's a block, and I pull you into me, and I deliver an elbow strike to your elbow. So I'm here, you throw the punch, I sweep it away, grab onto your wrist, pull it into me, and then I deliver an elbow across the side and back of your elbow and break your elbow. So it's done this way, and you come up. Ooh, okay, I forgot the leg lift. So from here, come up, and that's why I said you step down here, and then you go this way. This is grabbing, breaking the elbow. That's all it is. Well, it's not just all it is, that's what it is. Then you have this, that motion. You notice it doesn't go this way, it goes just up with a slight bend in the leg. It's lifting that knee up as high as you can get it. That is a stop hit. So I'm in my fighting stance, and let me move back a little bit, you can see a little better. I'm in my fighting stance, and you go to, reverse punch me by stepping forward with your front leg, or you're stepping through with your back leg, or you're picking up your back leg or front leg to throw a front kick, okay? What I'm doing is taking a half step forward, and then rather than chamber my leg, it's already bent, so in my fighting stance, I simply shift up and stop the technique. So I'm coming up and kicking your knee. It's not a full-blown side kick, just a stop kick, because your momentum's coming into me, and so you run into that, and I can step down and counterattack. See it from this angle. Let me get back here a little bit. I can see it on the stick here. So as I come in, you come in to attack me, take a half quick in, leg comes up, and stops the kick, and stops the technique. That's what that is. And so, of course, it's applied to both sides of the body. So I've covered, last but not least, the elbow strikes. And the elbow strike is simply that. You blocked, and you're hitting with the elbow. It's simply a forward elbow strike, as everybody does. Now the back, this is a reverse elbow strike. And so, by turning this way, so you can see a little better, when I come up, you come up from here, I put my hands like this, and I'm pushing that forward, so it's just, this has some power, this doubles the power. So as I'm driving my left elbow back, my right fist is pushing it, into your body from behind. So to make it practical, if you were grabbed from behind and you trapped the arms and you stomped on his foot, and he was able to, he would let go, or you could escape from that grip, you take your hand like so, and then shove it back into the solar plexus or ribs with a double force of your left hand and your right hand. So that is the explanation for the techniques. I was told by my sensei, they referred to them as the hidden moves in the kata. It's tori. It is the fighting system that's cued in the kata so you can remember them. And that's why it's important to do your kata deliberately, not robotically, but pause between each cue. And so that way you can remember it. So you're practicing mentally performing the technique as well as physically performing the technique, and you won't forget the techniques of the system. Okay. I hope that was helpful, and it'll just make you a better martial artist, a better fighter, knowing what the techniques are. So that's about it. Fantastic. Train hard.